Okay, so here's that family portrait that I was just mentioning. And I've already got the adjustments done here. What I'm going to do is click on them individually and just explain what I've done and why I've done what I, had chosen to do. You all know how to invoke adjustment layers, so I don't need to go through that. All I would need to do is just start talking about the image and what adjustments I made. So, taking a look at this image, to me, it looks like it's a little bit underexposed. Now, shooting this in my studio, you would think that this should have been a properly exposed image right from the get-go. Well, I'm going to go under the assumption that when my back was to my equipment, one of these characters just went in, and I'm going to probably blame it on either this guy or this guy. They went in and possibly just changed the setting. All right. Now, they may have gone and changed the setting on my camera, just joking around with me. I don't know, but I'm just going to go with that. All right. Who knows? So, anyways, I'm going to make a levels adjustment so that we can actually brighten up this image a little bit. So here is that adjustment. All right, so that comes in a little bit more like the background should be, but most importantly, I've got some detail now down in here on the pants, in the shoes, on this part of the couch. I've got some detail coming in on that. All right, so what I did was I just brought my brightness slider down to about 215. All right, so 215 is where I had it. There we go. So that's the brightness adjustment for that. All right, now that I've got that going on, now what I need to do is I need to fix the color. So what I did in this case was I brought over a color adjustment layer, and I can turn that on and off, and you can see it's subtle. All right, it is subtle. All right, you can see that it's a little bit warmer on the background there, and maybe you see it a little bit warmer in other areas. But let's just take a look here. I'm at the mid-tones, all right, and we can see that I've taken out some of the red, adding a little bit of cyan, very, very small amount. And then in here, what I did was I wanted to take out some of the magentas, so I added a very little amount of green, and then in here I took out a little bit of the yellow. All right, that's what I did in the mid-tones. Now, in the highlights, I added 4 for the red for the highlights, and then I added some green and I added some blue. And then I came into the shadows and I did similar. All right. So what I said last time, you got to kind of play with this stuff to see, and generally, I would start off in whatever values I put in the mid-tone. I'd start off at halfway points with that stuff, and I did, but I ended up moving them up to other values. All right, this preserve luminosity checkbox here allows you to maintain the let's turn it on so we can actually see what's going on here. All right, allows you to maintain the original brightness of the image. All right, based on the colors that I added on here, the density of the image had changed, but this guy here is going to try to hold on to things for you. So there's my color adjustment. All right, great. And let's see the before and after. This is what we had and I started. This is what we're at so far. And then the next thing I need to do is take out some more of the red. So I'm going to use a hue saturation adjustment layer. All right, and you can see that I've taken out some of the red. Just take a look at the skin tones. All right, and what I did was I went into the red section in here and I reduced the saturation of reds. All right, so now I have this whole image completely fixed up from this to this, and I know that when I make this 16 by 16 print, right, it's going to be absolutely stunning. The way everything is going to just come into play. All right, this is going to darken down just a little bit because of the printer. I know my printer. I know what's going to happen. Everything else, and it's just going to come in with a lot of good punch and kick and everything else. It's going to be absolutely stunning. All right, and there's a whole story behind this image and what's going on in that, and that I'll leave for another day.